Get him now before the police come.
T-minus 5, 4,
Hey, come here.
3, 2, 1. Ignition. Liftoff.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. The Knockem Dead Comedy. I'm running around like crazy. Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. I was running around. The phone guy just left. The phones are fixed. So I was just running around last minute trying to get everything ready for the show. While, because the phone guy literally just left, like, I don't know, like 11:02 or something. Now there's a fly in here. Hi. I didn't even turn the lights on. Sorry. I knew things looked a little weird. There we go. Lights are on. Okay. Hi. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Show. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Show. Right here on Gov's Comedy Club podcast. Here at the legendary Governor's Comedy Club here in Levittown. Sorry. Running around like crazy. It's been a crazy couple of days. First off, our special guest, Mike O'Sullivan, had to cancel on us this morning, so I have no guests. I'm in here by myself today. Probably around 6:30, 7 this morning, I saw the message that Mike sent me around 3 a.m. saying that he wasn't going to be able to make it. If he's up at 3 a.m., I'm not surprised he wasn't making it. So, Fremder, it's not the lights that make things look weird. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. No argument there, pal. So Mike O'Sullivan had to cancel, so I'm by myself. We're still going to do Tuesday Trivia, so I hope there's a lot of you out there that's going to watch and play and, do it. Because if it's only me and Fremder, well, we're in trouble. Tuesday Trivia, if you're not familiar, I'm going to ask some random trivia questions. You're going to answer the questions in the comment thread. And then I read your answers, make fun of you, and then give you the real answer. So I hope there's a bunch of you playing today. Things have it's just been a crazy few days for me. So, including, leading up to even just now. So starting with, I have a leak in my bathroom, which, I guess we all have to leak in our bathroom, but an actual leak from the second floor bathroom. There was water going into the first floor bathroom. So we noticed this not yesterday, but the Monday before. That's when we noticed it. And I went on a local Facebook group page, and I typed in, I posted on there. Anybody know a good plumber in the area? So immediately, within 5 minutes, I get, a response with a guy's, name and number. So I called him immediately, told him the deal. And, how bad is it? It's not that bad. All right, can it wait? Yeah. So he came, I think it was the next day. And he walks in, and I explain what's going on. He says, okay, I'm going to go check out the second floor bathroom. He takes like 2 steps up the stairs, and he stops. He turns back and looks at me. He goes, comedy. I go, yeah. Tells me who he is. Turns out his girlfriend is a girl who went to, I believe she graduated high school with my brother. And he's been to a few of our shows. He's been to see my brother, play his music. Hello, John. Good to see you, pal. Get ready for some Tuesday Trivia coming at you soon. So this guy, so it turns out I knew this guy, which I was very relieved because, you get any work done, on your house or, anything, you always feel better when you know the person, right? So now I'm like, okay, I know I've met this guy a few times. He seems like a good guy. I've known his girlfriend, since we were kids. I'm like, oh, this is great. So he checks things out, and we both agreed that maybe something spilled in the second floor bathroom and maybe just found its way to like a little pinhole or something, and it just, because it wasn't that crazy. It wasn't a crazy amount of water, and that came through in the first floor bathroom. So we thought, okay, it's just, it's just a weird fluke thing. And in fact, I think I even showed you guys last week the water that came through, the way it looked on the ceiling. and I posted a picture on my private Facebook, my personal Facebook. It looked like a, it looked like a penis. So, but he just looked at it quick. He looked at my penis quick and said, "It's okay, it'll go away." And I said, "No, I don't want my penis to go away." And he said, "No, it's okay." So no, he said, he said, "I don't think you have a major problem here." Okay, great. Thank you, pal. And off he goes. And he doesn't even charge me. He was there maybe 20 minutes. Doesn't charge me. He says, "I know you. I know your brother. We help each other out." And I said, "Okay, well," I said, "September 17th, Knockem Dead Comedy is performing at the brokerage in Belmar." I said, "Please come to the show." And I said, "On me." So he said, "Yeah, I may just take you up on that." I was like, "Oh, perfect. Let's do that." So he leaves. A day or two later, we see that the leak is starting again. Like, all right, what's going on here? But again, not that bad. I keep in touch with this guy, and I'm telling him, it's leaking. He's like, all right, maybe it's something's left over. He goes, I'm not really sure, but it doesn't sound right. He goes, but I really don't want to open up ceilings and stuff if I don't have to. I don't want to manipulate anything. So, we just see a little bit of water once in a while. Like, it wasn't really anything crazy. So, so then over the weekend, we saw that there was more water. We're like, all right, what's going on? So we started investigating a little bit. So, all right, so today's Tuesday. So Sunday, we noticed this, not crazy amount of water, but we did need a bucket. And it wasn't like a steady stream, but it was definitely a steady drip. Like me, I'm a drip. And I called the guy. I said, look, this is getting worse. I need somebody here. I said, if you're not going to come, I said, I hate to do this to you last minute. I said, but I do feel this needs to be looked at soon. So if you can't make it today or tomorrow, I may have to find somebody else. He said, no, I'll get there tomorrow. I said, okay, great. So this is Sunday. Now, also on Sunday, Lisa and Sammy decide that they're going to take our dog for a walk. Now, before I go any further, let me show you. This is our dog. His name is Petey. Seems like a cute little thing, and he's sitting there all cute and looking at you, and then all of a sudden he jumps and starts jumping all over the place. Well, that's Petey. Petey is a lunatic. He is nonstop, constantly running around like he's a dog he's an ADHD dog. He has nonstop energy. He constantly wants attention. He constantly, like some people I know, he constantly has to have something in his mouth. This dog is just insane. And he likes to rip into things. Hello, Carol Miner. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm so glad Carol's here for Tuesday Trivia. So yeah, this dog is just tearing into everything. And he's chewing on stuff and he wants constant attention. He's jumping. So Sunday, so I'm dealing with this leak in the sink. And then Sunday, Lisa and Sammy decide to take Petey out for a walk, which they do almost every day. Sometimes I join them, sometimes I don't. Well, this particular day I didn't because I was dealing with a leak. Sammy comes walking in the door with Petey and she goes, we have a situation. I go, just to hear your 24-year-old autistic daughter go, we have a situation. Like, all of a sudden my daughter is speaking like a cop. I'm like, we have a situation? She goes, Petey attacked a baby squirrel. Excuse me? She goes, yeah, we were walking and he kind of lunged. All of a sudden he just kind of lunged one way and then by the time I pulled him back, he had a baby squirrel in his mouth. So I'm like, all right, where's your mom? She goes, Mom is looking for something to put the squirrel in. So with that, Lisa comes walking in and I go, can you tell me what's going on here? She goes, yeah, somehow he got this baby squirrel. She goes, we got him to drop it. She goes, but the baby squirrel is still moving. She goes, so I want to save it. I go, by the time you get back to wherever you left this thing, I said, it's going to be dead. I said, just leave it. No, I can't do that. I can't leave the baby squirrel just to die like that. I go, what are you going to do? Give it mouth to mouth? I mean, what are you going to do? Just forget it. No. I got to go save this thing. Oh, okay. So she has like a little, she has a Dunkin' Donuts box. It was the only thing, like the quickest thing she could find. She grabs that. She goes back. She grabs a little, not a shovel, but when you're gardening, what's that little gardening tool? Whatever that's called. So she grabs one of those. So she's gonna, scoop this thing up, put it in the box. She comes home. She does that. She comes home with it, sits out in the back, puts the box on the table out back, and now she's looking up, like animal rescue and veterinarians and emergency care, and she can't get a hold of anybody. She called, I think, like 3 or 4 different places. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Ken. Spade. Oh, thank you. Yes, the little spade that you dig in the dirt. Right. Thank you. Excuse me. So she can't get through to anybody. Now she's getting all pissed off. I'm still dealing with the leak. She finds why she has one. I don't know, but she has, I guess, what do you call it? A dropper. Where the thing that to drip out. Like the eye drops and whatever else. She has one of those. So she's going to fill it up with water and see if she can give this squirrel some water. And she tries it, and of course, this thing was so tiny. I mean, it was literally a baby. I don't know anything about squirrels. I don't know anything about anything. But are squirrels like birds? Like when they give birth, do they then take off to find food to bring back or something? Because she said the mother was nowhere to be seen. So she's trying to squirt water to this thing, but this thing is so small that the drop is like going all over its face, and she said it was getting all weird. And she couldn't get a hold of anybody. She didn't know what to do with this damn thing. So she decides to just leave the box outside and just, see what happens. I get the leak contained for the time being. So Monday comes. Yesterday morning, the leak was still, of course, happening. We narrowed it down. The leak wasn't getting worse when we took a shower. The leak was not getting worse when we used the sink. The leak got worse. We noticed the leak getting worse when I used my bidet. And you guys know how much I love the bidet. Every day is for the bidet. Use your bidet every day. You could have fixed the leak if you had hired a real plumber to begin with, like Plagianos. Well, weren't you listening? I did bring a plumber in. But yes, like Plagianos. Plumbing is like life, or whatever he says. So I noticed that when I ran the bidet, but of course, the bidet is not going to be the cause of the leak. The bidet is just a hose from one piece to another, and it's, nothing. But sure enough, we flushed the toilet, and then the leak really increased. So like, okay, it's the toilet. And I did notice that the tank was a little loose. I'm like, okay, there it is. Hello, Jeff Bosey. Look at you. You're sacrificed from torture day. You're sacrificed from torture day. What does that mean? And who am I sacrificed from? What am I sacrificed from? We're still doing Tuesday Trivia coming up in just a little bit. I'm just telling you my story about the crazy couple of days I've had. So we determined that the leak is coming from the faucet. Yesterday morning, so Lisa goes outside. She sees the squirrel, still sitting in the box, still alive. But I said to her, look, you can't leave this thing on the table. I said, if we let Petey out, Petey's going to get to this thing. So she decides to take the box. Obviously, we have a fenced-in backyard, so the dog can roam freely. So she decides, and we have a garage that goes all the way to the backyard, and there's our detached garage on the corner of our property. But the garage is on the outside of the fence. So she decides to put the Dunkin' Donuts box on the ground, on the driveway, right in front of the garage. Petey can't get to it because he's fenced in. So like, okay, perfect. So I'm here Tuesday. I did the show. Yesterday, Monday, I did the show. Oh, so then I have problems with the show, as you guys know. My apologies. We had Mitch Malloy on, great singer, one-time member of Van Halen. So it was kind of a big deal to have him on. And of course, we have audio issues with Zoom. So I shut the show down, and Mitch actually says, "Well, Zoom is working." Because we were able to hear him no problem through Zoom, but somehow the program we used to stream the show to you guys, the audio got lost there. So Mitch says, get off the air and just record on Zoom and then post it later. I said, all right, great idea, Mitch Malloy. No wonder you were a singer in Van Halen because you're so smart. So we record the interview. Jeff says it's Thursday. Yes, Thursday is the sacrifice. Yes, Thursday is the horrible day. That's when, and I'm assuming we're doing it this Thursday. Bidet, I come and me want to go home. Bidet, I come and me want to go home. Yeah, close. So, So I'm here. So yeah, we have the problem, the audio problem. And I was pissed off, terribly embarrassed. I didn't want to end the show. I didn't want to look like an idiot to Mitch Malloy, but I can't help that. I always look like an idiot. So, but we get off the air, we record the interview, and then Bobby Donahue, who was here, who I had cut off to talk to Mitch when he came on for Zoom. So I turned to Bobby, said, "All right, let's record the rest of your interview, and I'll post that too." But I felt, like I said, I was terribly embarrassed. So I get through all that, but all I can think about is going home so I can edit it all and put it all out there because I just felt bad that that the show was a mess. And I don't know, to me it just makes me feel better to, get it all done and repost it. So, and I took Bobby to lunch first. Bobby is my oldest friend. I've known Bobby. Bobby and I are the same age. We've known each other since we were 2. And we've been close friends. We lost touch in our 20s, but then early to mid 30s we got back in touch, and we haven't lost touch. So it was only like maybe 10 years, 12 years, give or take, that we lost touch. So he's my oldest friend, one of my closest friends. So, and he lives like at least a half hour away, maybe even more. So we don't see each other as often as we'd like to. So I said, all right, I got to take you to lunch. Thanks for coming in. So we went to lunch. So I get a call from Lisa while I'm at lunch with Bobby. She goes, she goes, what did you do to the squirrel? I was, whoa, hey, oh, what do you mean, what did I do to the squirrel? She goes, well, I can't find it, and the Dunkin' Donuts, she said, I just can't find, no, she says the Dunkin' Donuts box is in the backyard, and it's just on the ground, and I don't know where the squirrel is. I'm like, babe, I haven't been home. I said, I left the house before you this morning, and I have not been home. So she's like, well, somebody moved it, and now I can't find this squirrel. I wanted to save the squirrel, squirrel. Okay. I said, I don't know what to tell you. So finish lunch with Bobby, go home. I just want to edit this video. I mean, no disrespect to the squirrel, but this thing wasn't going to live. So I get home. First thing I notice when I pull up in front of the house, that the lawn is cut. And I'm like, oh, right, landscapers. Landscapers come every Monday. So I call her up. I go, I think the landscapers probably saw the box. The squirrel, like I said, was a baby squirrel. This thing was so small that the landscaper probably didn't even notice that there was something in it. He probably just thought it was garbage. So he was just nice enough to pick it up and, I don't know, put it in our garbage or put it somewhere. And she's like, oh, yeah, I didn't think of that. And she's all upset. So I go into the backyard, and I see the Dunkin' Donuts box on the ground. So I grab it, I go to throw it out, and then boom, I look. Excuse me, there's the baby squirrel dead on our patio. And I'm like, ew. And I'm like, ew, this is gross. So... excuse me. So I tell Lisa, there it is. I call her again and said, I found it. So I will admit that when it comes to dead animals, I am not good. we had to, like, once we had a cat that died, like, to move the body, to bury it. I was like, ugh. Like, even now, I'm even kind of feeling it. And I'm like, this is gross. Plus, I honestly did think she'd want to see it and wanted to know exactly where it was. So I did. I left it there. And I go downstairs into my basement, get to my computer. I'm like, all right, I'm going to edit this show. The thing's dead. What does it even matter at this point? The thing's dead already. So I'm just going to work. So I start to edit the video. And I get a call. It's the plumber. It's the plumber. I've come to fix the sink. Who is it? So so I have to stop what I'm doing. He comes in, and he starts investigating, trying to figure it out. He thinks at first it looks like it's just the loose tank. The tank was put in weird. It was used with some weird washers that this plumber has never seen before. Turns out the toilet wasn't even really put in terribly right because whoever put it in, it turns out they cracked some of the floor tiles, so they put the toilet in a weird way to cover it. So it was like the way it wasn't really attached well to the pipe. So he's like, okay, he was probably there almost an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. And okay, this is definitely it. Just got to fix, set this tank up right, and we're good to go. Great. He's doing that. I'm downstairs in the bathroom, in the downstairs bathroom, and I notice that there's water coming through. So I go up and I tell him. He goes, it's probably just some leftover from when I was flushing before, trying to figure out what was going on. Okay. He's messing with the tank. Maybe 5-10 minutes later, there's more. Like the water didn't decrease, it increased. So I went up to him. I said, I'm sorry, but it's leaking more. He comes down and he looks. He goes, yeah, it's leaking more. He goes, I got to open your ceiling. He goes, this is not just a loose tank. He goes, this water from when I was flushing before, he goes, this water would have stopped. He goes, yeah, I have to, I got to open the ceiling, see what's going on. I'm like, all right, you got to do what you got to do. He gets up. He's up at the ceiling. He just starts to cut the ceiling, and boom, there's water coming through already. So he stops immediately. He looks at me. He goes, this is going to be bad. I said, yeah, I kind of figured. So he does all the cutting. There's water seeping through the whole time. There's water. Opens it. I mean, not like he was drenched, but there was a good amount of water that got him when he opened the ceiling. So now we know. We knew this was going to be bad because as soon as he opened the ceiling, if you know anything about, building a house, he opens the ceiling, he takes the sheetrock off, and there's nothing but insulation there. Insulation. Now, if you know anything about building a house, if you watched Bob Vila, you would know that there's no need for insulation from one bathroom to another, or second floor to first floor. Insulation, is on the roof and along the walls, to keep the warmth in. So yeah, we knew something was wrong. Starts to take the insulation off. The insulation is, sopping wet. It's bad. And it turned. So once he was able to remove enough of it, there's the pipe with a hole in the pipe. But so somebody. So there was a little bit of a epoxy there, but that's not how you fix a pipe. So somebody knew there was a leak. Somebody knew there was a hole. They tried to epoxy it, and then use like the insulation almost as a sponge. So yeah, the plumber looks at me. He goes, it's been like this a long time. He says, this was going on. Now we've been in this house for 6 months. He goes, this has been going on long before you've been here. He goes, somebody tried to just come up with a very poor way to fix this instead of doing the right thing, which is replacing the pipe. He goes, this is bad. And it was. I can't tell you how wet the insulation was, and then the water was just dripping for a long time. And I just couldn't believe it. Not only did they try to poorly fix this pipe, but when you put a pipe in and you have your your beams, your wooden beams and whatnot, usually you cut the wooden beam around a pipe, but it's usually like snug, like the wood would be right on top of the pipe. The wood, there's a joke there somewhere, but somebody cut the wood so poorly that like the pipe, like the wood wasn't even touching the pipe, and they cut it down. They went around the pipe. They cut it. They left like this much of the bottom of the plank, like that. It was like paper thin on the bottom, and it was so thin that it was actually broken. Like, you know, like you have a solid beam, but there was like a seam. It was broken right in the middle. Like, what in the world did these people do? We couldn't believe it. We just couldn't believe how poor this was. So as this is going on, Lisa comes home. No, I'm sorry. No, before Lisa comes home. As this is going on, Don Sill, I get a text from Don Sill. He goes, have you seen this? And it's a link. And it's basically the picture that I used to advertise today's show. Comedian Christopher Titus, who you might remember, he had a sitcom. I think it was called Titus, I think. That was like maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago. He had his own sitcom. You know, and he's still out there doing his thing. He's a well-known stand-up comedian. He started a podcast called Knockem Dead, a comedy podcast. There's only been 2 episodes so far. So this thing is brand new. So Don sends it to me, the link to it. He goes, have you seen this? I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it's a podcast. Him and a girl. He has a co-host. They apparently have had a lot of near-death experiences and just a lot of experiences around death. That their podcast is about death. 2 comedians doing a podcast about death. So I'm like, son of a bitch. So now I'm trying to remember I'm trying to go through my stuff and remember, do I own the name? I own the trademark, Knockem Dead Comedy. I own the logo that I use. This. I own that logo. And I own the trademark and that logo. But I wasn't sure if I owned the actual title, the name. But I do know that I've been running a comedy troupe called Knockem Dead Comedy for 11 years, and I know that I've been hosting a podcast with the same name for 5.5. So I'm like, son of a bitch. So I'm going back and forth. I'm like, all right, screw it. I'm just going to text this guy. So I find Christopher Titus on Instagram, and I send him a message. Then I go to his website, and it has a contact section, so I contact him there too. Haven't heard back from anybody yet. But, so I'm dealing with that. But then, and I'm still dealing with the plumber. They're still trying to figure out what's going on and what they're going to do. And they decide, they need to put in a brand new pipe. They need, they're discussing where to cut, what to do. They were there for several hours, but they weren't going to do the job because at this point it was almost 6 o'clock last night. They're like, all right, we're going to come back tomorrow or Wednesday, and we're going to, do the job. Okay, great. But now I rent my house, unfortunately. So I have to contact the landlord, and of course I reach him. He's giving me a hard time. You need a second opinion. How well do you know this guy? This is going to cost a lot of money. I'm going back and forth with him. So then Lisa comes home. So now I'm trying to take her outside to show her where the squirrel is. I show her where the Dunkin' Donuts box is. I said, okay, now that you see it, I'm going to go get the box and we'll clean this crap up. I take one step off the back step and I stop. To my left is the squirrel. To my right is the Dunkin' Donuts box. And right in the middle of these 2 things, I stop. I go, what the fuck is that? It's another dead baby squirrel. Now, the squirrel that Petey killed was not even, it didn't happen on our property. So, how there ended up being another baby squirrel is, I even turned to Lisa, I said, did you grab 2 baby squirrels? She goes, no, there was only 1. I go, where'd that one come from? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, so now I'm searching everywhere to see if there's more. Thank God there wasn't. But it's still wondering, was this thing dead? Did this thing reproduce? Or is this like the movie Magnolia where it's raining frogs, except for us it was raining squirrels? Like, what the? I didn't know what in the world. We still have no idea where this second dead baby squirrel came from, but there was a second one. Lisa now decides that she had to... Oh, no, I take that back. Sammy, our daughter, was out, so it was time to go pick her up. So Lisa goes, all right, can you pick up these dead squirrels, and I'm going to go get Sammy. I'm like, I have work to do. I wasn't done. I didn't finish editing the videos yet. I have other work that I need to catch up on for this studio. I'm like, son of a bitch. And like I said, I'm not good with dead animals. I don't know what it is. Like I said, as soon as I bring it up, I'm like, ooh, my stomach gets queasy. This story is nuts. Thank you, Bose. All right, let me go back. I'll read some comments. Boris Badenoff, dead squirrels. Great interview yesterday. I couldn't hear a word. If his Van Halen audition went anything like yesterday, that would explain why he was only in the band a few hours. No, it went well. We had a good interview. It's on YouTube. I thought you were going to say the landscaper mowed the squirrel over. I was going to say squirrels make good mulch. Oh, my goodness. I'm pretty sure squirrels are flushable, even if it's a baby. Andy Plajanos, let me guess. The end. Baby squirrels effed your pipe up. Can you imagine? That would have freaked me out. I think I would have moved. I'm trying to remember the name of that Bob Vila show. Oh, yeah, This Old Toilet. The Joys of Being a Homeowner. Yeah. You better get your name trademarked. I own the trademark. But is that the same thing as owning the name? I don't know. I don't think it is. Like the trademark and the... I mean, we own the trademark. I guess we can use it for anything, whether it's a comedy troupe, a podcast, a plumbing business. I guess due to their bad luck in life, maybe one day you'll be the only one again with that name. Right? That was good, Fremder. That was good. So Lisa goes to get Sammy, and now I'm outside. I get the spade, I get a shovel, and I have the Dunkin' Donuts box, and I'm like scraping the thing to get it onto the shovel and put it in a box. It was awful. I get the Dunkin' Donuts box now, and I put it in another box, and I leave it for Lisa because I don't know what she wants to do at this point. Sure enough, she comes home and she's like, "Yeah, I want to." She's gonna go dump the box somewhere. I don't even remember. I'm like, okay, great. So in the midst of all this, trying to clean up, water and mess that from the plumbers, from them opening the ceiling and having water all over the place, cleaning up dead squirrels. So now Sammy goes to a special needs summer camp. Okay, and today's the last day. So we had, you got to do the thank you cards, and you got to do the gifts and the tips and all this garbage, which I'm going to have to get into that another day, maybe even today. Like tipping bus drivers, tipping teachers, tipping this one, tipping that one, tipping cows, tipping. Like, what the? So turns out that we didn't have enough thank you cards for everybody, for all the thank you cards we had to get. So I'm like, what in the world? So now I'm shot. At this point, it's like 7:30. I just start making dinner for myself because it's such a crazy afternoon. As I'm cooking, I'm then running back to the basement trying to finish up these videos so I can post them. I ended up making two separate videos. One, with Bobby, and then one with Mitch. I had just made them two separate videos, and I'm trying to get that done. But now I got to go get more thank you cards. Lisa tells me we're too short. I'm like, all right. And in my head, I'm thinking, all right, I'm just going to get one of those boxes of thank you cards, and I'm just going to be, I'll bring it home. We'll have more around if we ever need them. So I go to CVS, and I can't find them. Now, let me just say, there's a CVS, literally, a 30-second drive from my house. And if you walk it, I mean, you're talking maybe 10 minutes, a 10-minute walk. I mean, it's right up the block. So, and I'm already mad at CVS because they're laying off employees. And why are they laying off employees? Because of these damn self-checkouts. Fucking hate those things. So I go in, and now I can't even find a package of thank you cards. None. They didn't have any. So now I'm already aggravated as it is, so now I'm even more aggravated. So I just grabbed, so again, we were short 2 thank you cards. I'm like, screw it. I just grabbed two cards. And of course I got to grab a Hershey bar because I can't pass the Hershey bar without grabbing one. So meanwhile, with tipping everybody, Lisa had a 20. She goes, bring this to CVS, break it because I want to give such and such 10 and this one 10. Okay, great. So I'm walking towards the cash register. Sure enough, the woman who works there, she's standing on the the customer side of the counter, and she's pointing at the self-checkout. And I'm like, I guess you don't like your job, So I just said, look, I said, if you don't mind, I'd rather pay with you. I said, because I need to purchase these, and I need to break a 20. She goes, what do you need? I go, I'm purchasing these, then I need to break this 20. She comes around. She puts her hand on the 20 like that. She goes, okay, what is it you need? I need to break that 20, but I'm also buying these. She rings the cards in the Hershey bar up. You got the pad right there. You put your card in. I put the card in. It asked me if I want the receipt. I press no. Then I have no more control. There's nothing else coming up. I'm like, what's happening here? She then hands me $10.79. I go, what's that? She goes, that's your change. And she's looking at me like I'm an idiot. That's your change. I go, you used the 20? She goes, yeah. And now, again, still looking at me like I'm nuts. I go, I said, I'm paying with the card. She goes, you put the 20 on the counter. I said, I needed to break the 20. She was right, so you just broke it. I said, no. I said, I was using the card to pay for these items. Then I needed to break the 20. She goes, oh, you didn't say that. I go, I was very clear. She goes, no. She goes, you weren't. I go, all right, well, what do we do? She goes, well, there's nothing we can do. She goes, I already gave you change. I said, I'm using the card. No, I already gave you change because we can't undo that. I said, I just bought these things. I haven't even lifted them off the counter. I said, you're telling me there's nothing we can do? She goes, nope. I said, fine, I'm returning these things. I said, so then I'll have a 20 back and we'll start all over again. She goes, no. She goes, you hit no receipt. I go, you're telling me that even though I hit no receipt, that there's nothing we can do here? She goes, no. I said, all I need is to break this 20. She goes, I wouldn't be able to do that for you anyway. She goes, the days of breaking 20s are gone. Just like that. She goes, gone. I go, the days of breaking what? I'm now just completely aggravated from this day. And I couldn't believe my ears. Like, you can't, what do you mean the days of making change and breaking 20s are gone? Like, what are you talking about? She goes, yeah, I'm not allowed to do that. She goes, I'm only authorized to open the register for sales. She goes, and even if I wanted to, she goes, there's not even a way to open the cash register unless I'm making a sale. I said, so if I just walked in here and asked you for change of a 20 without buying anything, you would tell me no? She goes, yeah, I'm not able to do that. even if I wanted to. And that's when I start to sound like an old man. Like even banks do that sometimes. You go in there to break, get change and like, well, do you have an account here? It's like, what happened to the days you could just walk into anywhere? Or, you can just help somebody out. It takes a whole 30 seconds to take a 20 and then give them, it takes 10 seconds. Take the 20, hand them 2 10s. Like, no harm, no foul. Like, what's the difference? But now I can't even open the register without making a sale. the days of breaking 20s are gone. I mean, she actually went like that. I was like, what in the world is going on? I couldn't believe it. So so now I'm shocked that there was nothing we can do. So I walk out. I go home, only to find out that we were short 4 cards. So I have to go back to CVS, and at this point, I'm like, this day is not ending quick enough. At this point, it was 10:30 at night. I was done. So I go back there. I see this idiot again. I buy the cards, and I said, guess what? Now that I've bought 2 more cards, can you break this 20 before you close the cash register? The phones are working, ladies and gentlemen. And here's our first call. It says name unavailable, and it's line 2. So I don't know what we're going to get here. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good morning. May I speak with Patricia Francis?
Patricia's not here right now. Can I help you?
Yes, sir. Are you Mr. Francis?
Yes.
Oh, great, sir. My name is Joe. I'm with Secure One. The reason for my call is we're touching base in regards to a personal loan offer we sent to you guys by mail. Right now, we're offering $10,000 up to $75,000 at a very low rate. Are you still at 2203 Post Street, sir?
I am, but I don't think I'm going to go for this. My wife likes to get loans like this because she has boyfriends, and she buys sex toys in hotel rooms with the money.
Yeah.
It's insane. I don't know. I don't know how to stop her. But
Okay. Okay, Mr. Francis. What about you? Do you have any unsecured?
Do I have any girlfriends?
Like to pay off?
No.
No.
No, I'm gonna. I might need a loan to pay back all the money from my slut wife.
Okay. It's Well, you made my day today. You made me wake up.
Oh, well, good. Well,
I know you're joking with me, but
well,
have a great day.
Oh, you too. All right. So, so now I don't know where I was. So I got the change of a 20. I got the remaining cards. Finally went home, and I think I just conked out immediately. I mean, it was just insane. So meanwhile, I still have not heard back from Chris Titus. Christopher Titus, well-known comedian, now has a podcast called Knockem Dead, a comedy podcast. I believe it's only like 2. I think only 2 episodes have been out so far. That's how new this thing is. I reached out to him on his website. I reached out to him on his Instagram. Titus Nation is what it's called. In fact, I'm going to look at comments right now. I'm going to see what you guys are saying, and then I'm going to check to see if there's a response. And then we'll get to Tuesday Trivia. So let's see. Carol Miner. Trademark of an image is not the same as trademarking a name. Unless in the trademark states image and name. Had this with my chocolate company years ago. Right, that's what I'm saying. I own this trademark. I own that logo. Now, see, that's the thing. I can't find my paperwork, and I have a call scheduled with LegalZoom.com because that's who I did it with. I believe I own this trademark. That much I know, that we own the trademark and we own this logo. So I'm talking 2 things here. Like this style. Knockem Dead Comedy is the second comedy troupe that I've been running. The first one was called Knockem Dead Comedy. And Knockem Dead Comedy, in fact, Bobby Donahue, who was here yesterday, he designed this logo. But he designed it when it was Drop Dead Comedy. So I put, so this isn't a font that you can find on a computer. Bobby made this. So I own this type of logo. Like nobody else can use this type of lettering. So I own that. But I also have the trademark, and that's what I'm trying to find out. Does trademark mean you own the name? I don't even know. So that's what I'm trying to find out. Angel Pajanos, let me guess. Dead squirrels in the thank you card box. I'm sitting there thinking, I read this comment already. Dead squirrels in the thank you card box. We have no idea where the second dead squirrel came from. No clue. Vicky, third base. Fremder, I don't know if being a Jew makes me cheap at restaurants, but in my defense, I was circumcised, so I always leave 10% tip. Yeah, your poor wife. John Rusiello, wonder what she would do if there was a gun pointed to her head. Yeah, good point, John. I guess that guy's not into sex toys. Yeah. I know you're joking with me. Okay, yeah. You're a real brain surgeon, pal. You had, that you figured that out. Good for you. Yeah, good point, John. What if they were being robbed? Sorry, I can't open this up unless it's a sale. I know you're pointing that gun to your head, but buy that Hershey bar for $3, and then I can open the cash register and you can take everything you want. Yeah, so it was just a weird day. Oh yeah, all right. So let me check to see what's happening with Chris Titus. Let me see if there's any response. All right, so there's no response on Instagram. Let me see if it shows that somebody even saw it. Whoops, I'm hitting the wrong button. Boom. Meh. 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 Sent yesterday at 6 p.m. It does not show anybody who's looked at it. All right, so that's out. Let me check my email because, like I said, I did contact him on his website. So I want to see if anybody got back to me there. It does not appear that anybody's gotten back to me. Nope. So until we do in fact hear from Christopher Titus, he's a prick. He stole our name. See, I don't understand it. Do people think that, like a guy in his position, he's a nationwide performer. He's known all over the country. I mean, like I said, he had a sitcom for a while, so he kind of was a star at one point. I don't know if he would still be considered a star. I don't know if he's a household name. I honestly don't know. I mean, you guys all know who that is, who Christopher Titus is, right? I mean, do people? How do you not know that something like there's something already out there with that title? That's what I don't understand. I'm working on getting you guys a picture of Christopher Titus. Hang on. I'm going to get it to you right now. So, yeah, I mean, it's happened in here. All right, here's Christopher Titus. I believe the name of the show that he had was called Titus. Or maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I don't care. I mean, it's happening here. When Anthony Rodia was in here, remember he changed the name of his show at one point to Sorry Not Sorry? And we did like 2 or 3 episodes, and then sure enough, he did the research and found out there's like 1,800 different shows with that title. And I think even Alyssa Milano, I believe it was, had one with that title. So he's like, all right, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. When I started, Knockem Dead Comedy, I looked up to see if there was anything around like that, and there wasn't. Especially these days when everybody has a podcast, you would think maybe not Christopher Titus, but maybe one of his people, one of his handlers would just Google Knockem Dead Comedy, see what comes up. You Google Knockem Dead Comedy, and you'll see this face all over the place. In fact, I even tried it last night. It was like flip-flopping. I saw a bunch of stuff for me, a bunch of stuff for Christopher Titus, a bunch of stuff for me, Christopher Titus. Of course, he's going to move up in the search engines because he's a well-known actor-comedian. But I've had this name for 11 freaking years. I've had this show for 5.5. So, Christopher Titus, you want to, you want to have a little sit down and we'll talk. We'll try to work things out peacefully like gentlemen. You want the name that bad? We'll have to find out exactly what it's worth to you. And then we'll just, have to discuss what's in it for me to release the name to you. Christopher Titus. So that's what we're going to do. I don't even know. I don't know if I should just leave it, because when people will then look for his podcast, maybe they'll find mine. That could be a good thing. Maybe we'll merge and we'll work together and we'll sing Kumbaya. I don't know. Very strange. Very strange. Let's see. What do we got? Fremder, one time I had to go to the hospital because I swallowed a roll of quarters. It took a while for the procedure because there was no change. Carol, on another note, Zach found a new candy for you to try, freeze-dried Skittles and gummy bears. Thank you, Zach. Love your son, but no. I don't like Skittles or gummy bears. I don't like them. And you can't mess with perfection anyway. What you send me is perfect. The milk chocolate and caramel, and the milk chocolate and the peanut butter. That's, we're in mid-August already, so the summer is coming to an end. That is one of the positives of the summer coming to an end, that Carol can send me Buc-ee's again. I just thought of something. So next week, I'm on vacation. I'll be here Monday. Then the rest of the week, I'm out. I'm going to Kentucky. Are there Buc-ee's in Kentucky? I'm going to Buc-ee in Kentucky. That's a country song right there. Ken Pichelle, get on that. Is Ken Pichelle watching? I'm going down to Kentucky where they eat a lot of Buc-ee's. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. That just hit me. Oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. I might need a whole day just to stand in there and just take it all in and thank them for their delicious chocolate. Oh, that would be amazing. See, I need a second now. This is just incredible. My trip to Kentucky won't be sucky because I'm going to eat me some Buc-ee's. I'm feeling mighty ducky. Rucky, rucky, rucky. Freeze-dried Skittles are excellent, says Vicky. You guys can have them. Tree Yogi. So, Andrew, you had Bitcoin. What the hell is a Tree Yogi? Tree Rogi. Well, whoever you are, thanks for watching. Go tell everybody else about all the great shows here. Vicky, I saw Titus in Syracuse a few months ago. Well, you didn't ask him what he was doing? Kidding. Carol, tall blonde, watched this show. It was okay. I honestly don't even remember it. And I'm not trying to be mean to the guy because he took my show title. I just honestly don't remember. He's a funny comedian. I know that much. Titus sounds like something you'd need ointment for, says Fremder. Fremder, do you not know Christopher Titus? Fremder, I got Titus in my ears. Carol, Buc-ee's in Richland, Kentucky. I don't even know if that's where I'll be, but that's where I'm going. I am very excited now. I sure hope that's where I'm going. I think it's Kentucky. Richmond. Oh, not Richland, Richmond. Okay. Either one. Just knowing there's a Buc-ee's down there where I'll be. Oh, this is... Oh. That would be great. And then I'll get a bunch. I'm going to eat them right there in the store. And I'll be smiling. And then I'm going to try and then I'm going to buy more and bring them back to the hotel so I can have them at night. And then I'll buy some more so I can bring them home and eat them at home. I love my Buc-ee's. So, all right. Well, that took up a lot of time just telling you about my afternoon yesterday. I finally did get the videos done. They're up on YouTube, so you can see our interview with Mitch Malloy. It's there on YouTube. You can see the Bobby Donahue portion of the show. That's a separate video. So I made just the Mitch Malloy, and then where Bobby and I spoke to him, and then just another video where it's just me talking to Bobby about what he's got going on. Meet the Boneheads cartoon, and he was talking about the environment. He's very passionate about that stuff. So it was cool. And Mitch Malloy, of course, talking to him was cool. We actually had an interesting conversation about his health and his voice and his time with Van Halen and the things he's doing now. Go to MitchMalloy.com. You can, if you buy a CD, you'll get it autographed. So that's kind of cool. And he sells bundles, where he sells posters. Some of his albums are on vinyl. He's good. He's got some good stuff. So that's cool. All right. All right. So with that, I have other stuff to talk about, but I don't know. I usually save it when I have guests here. But so maybe I don't know. Let's see how long trivia takes, and then maybe I just might call it a day after trivia. So so that's the story. I'll be here. We got Brandon on Thursday, of course. Friday, me and Andy. Thursday night, we're going to do a green room show. And I believe Andy will be in here with me, I think. Because the Long Island Laugh-Offs, the finals, is this Thursday here at the club. So we're going to talk to a lot of the comedians who are, here, the contestants. We're going to get, talk to them after they do their set, maybe before. I don't know what seasoned comedians are going to be here because, they throw in seasoned comedians to keep the show going. So who's ever here, they'll be in here with us. So we're going to do a special green room show. I believe it's going to start at 8 o'clock. So we'll be here for a couple hours, and looking forward to that. Might stop down, says Bosie. I sure hope you do, Bose. Come do the show with us. That'll be cool. John, world's largest Buc-ee's is in Florida. Are you near it, John? And if so, go there and get me some milk chocolate and peanut butter. Anybody that's near a Buc-ee's, send me the milk chocolate and peanut butter. Bosie, got to get back to my non-union job. Have a great show. See, if you had a union job, you'd be on break from 12 to 1 with no recourse. Bosie and I were here the other night talking to Allie, who's one of the managers here. She's fantastic. And it turns out she works for a union for her full-time gig. So I hugged her and we danced around the club because we're union brother and sister and lover. And we laughed at Bosie. And then we kicked him in the face and the nuts. And he lay dead with the squirrels. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just great in a weird mood because I passed out and I still woke up angry this morning. It started actually on Sunday because Sunday morning I was all looking forward to sleeping in on Sunday because I don't get to sleep in often. Sunday morning I was sleeping in. 4 o'clock in the morning my phone rang. Now, if you're like me, and I think this is the case with most people, your phone rings and in the middle of the night you're like, and you're just automatically scared because you think somebody's calling you in the middle of the night because there's an emergency. Nobody else is, people aren't calling for any other reason at 4 in the morning. I go to reach for the phone. When I woke up, I actually went, hello? Like that. Like, I didn't even grab a phone yet. But by the time I even got my phone, it stopped ringing. And I looked at the number. It was somewhere from Madagascar. True story. So I'm assuming they called the wrong number. Sons of bitches. But, you're so hyped up at that point that it takes forever to calm back down. And, and I barely slept from that point on. Like, I was up for the most part. I fell back asleep a little bit here and there, but for the most part, I was up for the rest of the morning. And I was mad. And it's just kind of been, like the way things have been since. All right. So we're going to do Tuesday trivia. The way this works, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask some random trivia questions. You're going to answer them in the comment thread. I do not give out the answers. I ask all the questions. Then I go back and ask them again. And I read your answers, make fun of you for your bad answers, and then I'll tell you the correct answer. There's no prizes. There's no rhyme, no reason. We're just messing around. Speaking of no rhyme, no reason, don't forget August 26th, Jeff Bosey's birthday. It's also his No Rhyme, No Reason comedy night featuring birthday boys Mike Keegan and Jeff Bosey. Mike Keegan, you can see here tonight. Headlined by the one and only Carrie Karavis and some other great comedians on the bill as well. That's going to be amazing. That's a good show right there. So come down and support Jeff. And, of course, like I mentioned before, Knockem Day Comedy at the Brokerage in Belmore, Sunday, September 17th. You're going to have a great time. Come down and have some fun with us. We have a few, we have some dates at McGuire's coming up. We have another date at, we have a date in October at McGuire's. And then in December, we're at the Brokerage and McGuire's again. So go to govs.com and go see some great comedy shows. This weekend at Governor's, on a Governor's stage, Gasper Randazzo, Vic DiBattista, Eric Terrell, Joe Cravella, Brian Paul, Chris Monty, Rachel Feinstein, and like I mentioned, the Laugh-Off Finals are Thursday. Go to govs.com. All sorts of cool stuff. Congratulations to the 12 and under Massapequa girls softball team. They won the Little League World Series. How cool is that? They defeated North Carolina. Take that, North Carolina. 5-2. It is the first Little League Softball World Series title in New York State history. And they come right from Massapequa, place where I used to live, the place where All-American is. Olivia Feldman threw 3 1/3 innings in relief and allowed no hits to close out the win. 3 1/3 innings with no hits. Very impressive there, Olivia Feldman. All right, question number 1. What color are the stars on the United States of America flag? You're welcome for such an easy question. Question number 2. Which drug became the 90s fastest selling prescription drug? Which drug became the 90s fastest selling prescription drug? When I say 90s, I'm not talking about the age. I'm talking about the decade. Glug, 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 glug. I'm not seeing any answers yet to either question. There we go. Thank you, Vicky. All right. I should have muted that. That was pretty loud. Sorry. All right. Hello, Jules. Jules is watching. Question number 3. In what year did Bill Clinton marry Hillary? What year did Bill Clinton marry Hillary? Question number 4. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Great song. It was an Oscar winner from what movie? So basically, what movie is that song from? Raindrops keep falling on my head. I'm going to Bucky's and it won't be sucky. Raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. Feed me the Bucky's milk chocolate peanut butter. I'm in a very weird mood. What? Carolina wrote in capital letters, Scherzer. All right, yeah, so we sent him to Texas. So what? He wasn't having a good year. What did he do? Or are you comparing this Massapequa girl to Scherzer? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All right, next question. How many of his 71 professional fights did Joe Louis win? Vicky's going to Google that one. Don't cheat, Vicky. How many of his 71 professional fights did Joe Louis win? I don't think I've ever done a boxing question. Next question. Multiple choice. Norman Petty was better known as who? Norman Petty was better known as who? Norman Lear, Tom Petty, Buddy Holly. Question number 7. The thick layer of neural tissue that covers most of the brain is called? The thick layer of neural tissue that covers most of the brain is called the what? Question number 8. Al Capone dropped out of school at age 14 after being expelled. What was he expelled for? Al Capone dropped out of school at the age of 14 and went on to, do some big things. He dropped out of school at the age of 14 after being expelled. What was he expelled for? Question number 9. What is the definition of a gastopia? A-G-A-S-T-O-P-I-A. Agastophobia. Agastophobia. Is it the admiration of a particular part of someone's body? Is it a fear of gas? Is it a noisy eater? What is the definition of agastopia? Is it the admiration of a particular body part on someone's body? Is it the fear of gas? Is it being a noisy eater? And the last question. What is postcoital dysphoria, or PCD? Postcoital dysphoria. Postcoital dysphoria. Coital. C-O-I-T-A-L. Postcoital dysphoria. What is it? All right. Let's go back and see your answers. I guess Andy Plagianos had to leave. I don't see him answering any single question. The first question, I'm not even going to read it. You all got it right. Better have gotten it right. Yes, all the stars on the flag are white. Which drug became the fastest-selling prescription drug in the 1990s? Fremder got it right. Jules got it right. Vicky got it right. And Carol didn't answer it. Okay. Yes, it is Viagra. Is that why you said Scherzer? Like, is he on Viagra? I don't know. What year did Bill Clinton marry Hillary? Jules says 1964. Fremder, 1692. Vicky, 1978. Vicky was close. 1975. I was 5 years old. I'm 5 years old. Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head was an Oscar winner from what movie? Oh, you guys are good. Fremder, Raindrops Falling on My Head makes me excited. But everybody else got it right. Carol, Jules, and Vicky all got Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Very good. Very, very good. How many of his 71 professional fights did Joe Louis win? Carol said 4. Oh, Carol. Vicky said 61. Jules said 62. Fremder says 3.14. Vicky and Jules were close. Of his 71 professional fights, Joe Louis won 68. So he won 68-3. How cool is that? Norman Petty, better known as who? Norman Lear, Tom Petty, or Buddy Holly? Jules says Tom Petty. Vicky says Buddy Holly. Carol says Buddy Holly. That is correct. It is Buddy Holly. Sorry, Jules. What? Vicky says Cortex. Oh, we're talking about Al? Al Capone. Oh, sorry. Yes. I skipped a question. The thick layer of neural tissue that covers most of the brain is called. I noticed Vicky's the only one who answered that one. Nobody else dared. Nobody else is smart enough. I'm not either. It's not a Hicksville thing, though, even though me and Carol would never know that answer. But Vicky's from Hicksville, too, so she got some good education somewhere. She writes cortex. I have the cerebral cortex, but Vicky, you get credit. Al Capone dropped out of school at the age of 14 after being expelled. What was he expelled for? Carol says making a hit on a teacher. Vicky, Al was gambling. Andrew from there just for being Al Capone. Carol is actually kind of close, although I don't know if she was joking, making a hit on a teacher. He actually was expelled for hitting a female teacher in the face. And I guess nobody thought back then, no, we should get this guy some help. Got maybe some violent tendencies, just a little. Go see a doctor. Give him a pill. Get him laid? I don't know. All right. What is the definition of agastopia? Is it the admiration of a particular part of someone's body, which I definitely have, if that's the case, the fear of gas, or a noisy eater? Jules says noisy ear. She must have meant noisy eater. Fremder says it means being Al Capone. Vicky, admiration of a particular part of someone's body. Fremder, the fear of farts. The aberration of hearing loud gas while eating. Oh, that's funny. Oh, Carol says she was joking. Yeah, but you got it right, pretty much. So agastophobia, the admiration. So Vicky got it. The admiration of a particular part of someone's body. That is what it is. Yeah, Vicky got that right. Because she likes my butt. I don't know what I'm talking about. So then the last question, only Jules answered it. What is post-coital dysphoria? You guys don't know your sex? Nobody else answered this one? Jules said, not knowing where you are after you have sex. That would be some mind-blowing sex if you don't know where you are. Unless you're drunk. I've had sex with people who wish they weren't, wish they didn't know where they were, or wish they were somewhere else. But that's wrong, Jules. That's not the answer. Post-coital dysphoria, or PCD, intense feelings of sadness, anger, and even distress after orgasm. There isn't a great deal known about this condition, but it's believed to be certified. But it's believed by certified sex therapists that it's possibly linked to a surge in hormones, which could stem from post-trauma from a prior sexual assault in some cases. So, yeah. Carol says she answered it too? I don't see it, Carol. I don't see it. I don't have it here. And Vicky says she answered it too? Oh, I don't see it. My apologies. I don't see it here. Yeah, it goes from. Yeah, it goes from Fremder answering the last question to Jules not knowing where you are after you have sex, and then it goes straight to Carol saying she was joking, but yay me, I answered, then Vicky saying I answered the last question. Sorry. It doesn't matter. All right, well, nice job. Well done, everybody. The winner, of course, was Andy Plagianos. So that's your Tuesday trivia for today. So, I mean, the only person playing that's not from out of town is Fremder. So, Fremder, if you and the missus want to get into a comedy show this weekend, let me know. Carol said being disappointed after sex. All right, all right, so you got that one right. Vicky, I wrote orgasm, so I was wrong. What you meant that you wrote that postcoital dysphoria is an orgasm? I hope none of you guys suffer from this condition. All right, so yeah, I'm going to get out of here. It's 12:25, close enough. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Sorry I didn't have a guest. Hope you enjoyed the show. Sorry for all my weird ramblings about the past couple of days. I definitely had a weird few days. But I guess it makes for good. Maybe it makes makes for a good show. I don't know. This is today's trivia. I don't need it anymore. So everybody enjoy your Tuesday. I'll be back tonight. Hershey and the Keegs on at 7 o'clock with their special guest, Tony Landolfi. If you don't know Tony, you want to know him. He is hilarious. Yeah, he's great. Tony Landolfi, great comedian. He's, was he on Headbangers Ball? He may have been on MTV. I think he may have been. He definitely did some heavy metal stuff on WBAB, which is a local radio rock station. But yeah, he's been around. Great guy, very funny guy. So that's the guest tonight on Hershey and the Keegs at 7 o'clock, right here on the YouTube channel. At 9 o'clock, Nick Greystone returns in Primal Scream. That's at 9 o'clock tonight, also on the YouTube channel. So I'll be here for those shows. And then we're off tomorrow, as usual. Circling the Drain, tomorrow night at 7. Then Thursday, I'll be back here with Brandon. Live from Governor's Green Room Thursday night. Then I'm here with Andy on Friday. Donversations Friday night. All right, and once again, so yeah, I'm on vacation after, so I'll be here Monday, and then that's it. So any shows that are in the studio won't be on next week. So no Hershey and the Keegs next week, no Primal Scream, no Circling the Drain. Maybe I'll do a Green Room that Saturday. I'll be back. I'm coming back Friday, I believe. So, but maybe not. I don't know if I'll be on. We'll see. But yeah, so next week we're gonna have some time off. So yeah, so enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Enjoy your Wednesday, and see you guys Thursday. See ya. Thanks.
What will you experience at a Knockem Dead Comedy Murder Mystery Show? Suspense, excitement, love, more love, violence. Well, not really. And, of course, some music. Knockem Dead Comedy is the #1 murder mystery troupe, entertaining thousands of people for over 20 years.
You have a great night or what?
Good. Their hilarious murder mystery shows are full of audience interaction from beginning to end that will keep you laughing all night long. Their shows are not to be